Family and friends, this information and conversation is a gift of love, favor, and nothing but God's blessings. It's an opportunity to change your life forever and to create generational wealth for you and your family. You know, too many times in our community, we do not take advantage of investing. We've been stuck in a way of frivolous spending and just spending on things that don't matter. Now we have opportunity to invest in something that does matter. Let's break the curse of generational poverty. Let's look into the future and not just for today. You know, they say that just reading the CNBC report that Black spending power in America have reached a record in 2021, $1.6 trillion. Although those group net worth is only worth 14%, has declined to 14%. And I really believe that's because we're not spending our money in the future and empowering ourselves and our children and generations to come. I think if we knew better, we would do better. You know, our culture, I'm specifically talking about African American culture, but I can also be referring to those that are in poverty, that our culture needs to understand investing and how that leads out of poverty into creating generational wealth. See, too many times we take life for granted, like we're going to be here tomorrow, and we forget those that are left behind us. But I really believe it's time that we take a serious look at money, debt, and all those things that are stopping us from achieving our dreams and goals and setting our future, setting our children up for the future. We can't be afraid to talk about money. We can't be naive or just shackled with debt. We have to climb our way out. We have to learn about it. We have to stop being afraid of what other people are going to think or say because the bill collectors don't care. Our children are suffering because we don't have the funding to take care of a loved one that may have passed away too soon. The embarrassment of coming out of our own pocket or asking other people to help. There's so many reasons why we need to really worry about financial freedom and financial education, financial literacy, and all the things that are surround. See, this world is revolved around money and how it moves through the marketplace. Everything that we deal with evolves money somehow, some way is connected to it. Us getting up, working 9 to 5s, overtime, all the things that we work so hard to get is on a piece of paper or electronically, but yet we don't know how it works. It's time. It's time to, I'm 51, and in school, they didn't teach us how to navigate through credit and how money works. And, by this age, I'm sure millions and millions of dollars has transferred through my hands, and a lot of yours is out there as well. I've been blessed to have an uncle in my life that taught me the value of money at an early age, and I've done well for myself. And my son has been the same way, and I'm teaching my daughter the same way. And I want that same wealth, and I want that same transformation in your life too. We all struggle. We all go through things. We all have hard times. We go through divorces. We go through loss of jobs. We go through these very difficult times in our lives, these struggles. And it's okay. How do you get out of that? First, it starts with making sure your credit is good, making sure that those three numbers are are 700 and above. I've been blessed, and I just found this out, and it's not a brag or anything, but I'm at 824. And when I saw that number, I was just like, wow, it can be done. Money is not the root of all evil. It's the greed of the money, and it's not understanding the money, and it's trying to get the money at all costs. Whether you're hurting somebody, whether you're scamming somebody, whether you're cheating somebody, that's where the evil comes in, where you're willing to do whatever to get it, rob, steal, kill, whatever it takes to get it. But if you put yourself in position where you don't feel like you have to do those things, where you understand it, you know how it works, you make it work for you instead of you working so hard for it, then you will see a change in your life. Now, I'm not saying that money will make you happy. I'm not saying that. No one's saying money will make you happy. What it does is it alleviates the pressure of the things that you want to do in life, whether you want to go on vacation, whether you don't want to work so much overtime. It alleviates that pressure um, to do things that you really wouldn't do. So I'm asking you to look inside your bank account, to look inside your credit score, to know all those things. And it's one thing that a lot of us has been through. I've been through it at a time in my life too, where you work paycheck to paycheck, where you overspend and you don't know where that money has went, and you find yourself in a hole, and you continue to find yourself digging out of that hole, and it continues to dig and dig and dig and dig, and then it gets so over your head that you want to forget about it, you want to put it on the side, and that doesn't help, because no matter what you do, that debt is still going to be there. So I just say, let's start thinking about being healthy, wealthy, and wise. What I mean healthy, I mean spiritually healthy, mentally healthy, physically healthy, and financially healthy. Wealthy in the fact that you don't have to have so much money, but wealthy in your spirit. Do you feel wealthy in your spirit? And wise. Be smart about the things that you do, who you surround yourself with, how do you spend your money. The decisions you make logically lead you to what direction you're going to go in your life. Be wise. If you think that is not going to turn out well, think about the balance. What's the pros and what's the cons of what you're thinking about doing? Be wise, be smart, be smarter. Not saying that everything that you do is going to turn out right. At least you thought about it. I think about this all the time. And a lot of you guys out there that know me know that my three things in life that I value, my key principles value in life is called life, times, and choices. Lifetime and choices, I should say. Life is the first thing. Once you wake up in the morning, be thankful of your life. Be thankful. Be blessed because someone didn't wake up. And if you're watching this, you woke up. You have another day, or maybe not, maybe minutes, seconds, hours. But you have life, and someone gave you that life. In my humble opinion, it's the Almighty God that gave us life. So be thankful for that. So life is the first thing that I value is my life. I'm thankful every single day that I wake up. I thank God that I have another day. Time. Time is the one thing that we can control. Well, several things that we can control, but time is the thing that we can control. How do we spend our time? How do we not waste our time? And guess what? Everybody has the same 24 hours in a day. I don't have more than you. You don't have more than me. It doesn't matter how rich you are, how poor you are. It doesn't matter what religion you are. It doesn't matter what ethnicity you are. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. What are you going to do with your 24 hours? Are you going to waste it away? Are you going to sleep it away? Are you going to work it away? What are you going to do with your 24 hours? You see, the alarm clock that wakes you up in the morning, it's not meant for you to wake up. It wasn't created for you to wake up. It was created for you not to oversleep. Hear me out. The alarm clock was created for you not to oversleep, not to wake you up. Only God can wake you up. And you know how I know? Because if you take that same alarm clock to the cemetery, no matter how long that alarm goes off, no matter how loud it is, it can be a bullhorn. Nobody in that cemetery is waking up. Nobody. That's how I know that it was meant for you not to oversleep. Time. Everybody's on a schedule. We look at our clock every day. We got to be at this place at a certain time. We got to do this at a certain time. Everything revolves around time. And when you pass away, the world doesn't stop. Time keeps going and going and going and never stops. So value your time, because once it's gone, you can't get it back. It's gone forever. Your time is gone forever. So when you find yourself in an argument with someone and you're fighting and you're wasting valuable times of your life, haven't you been in a situation where you're like, that was the worst 10 minutes of my life or hour of my life? I can't get that time back. Once it's gone forever. That's why memories are so important. And that's why we venture back to those memories, because we remember, man, what a good time that was. Or wow, that really changed my life. I was in a dark time in my life during that moment. That's why we can refer back to memory, to time, because time is what keeps this thing going. That's why when someone goes to prison, the one thing that's taken away is what? Their freedom and their time. And that's why they count the days out until they get out. And some may never get out. So they lose their time in this world, well, in the general public. So your time. And the last thing I say is the most important thing. Well, they're all important. But the choices, life, time, and choices. The choices you make will ultimately lead you to whatever direction you're going to go, whether that's good or bad. Always think about the choices you make. If you're a poor decision maker and you marry another poor decision maker, then you pretty much is going to have a bad marriage, because you both make poor decisions. That's why the onus is on you to make better decisions. Not saying that every decision that you make is going to be the right decision, but if you make a conscious decision and you think about the decision you're going to make, then you can make a great analysis and say, at that moment, it maybe not work out, maybe not. But at that moment, it was a right choice for me because I weighed the options. I said to myself, what's the worst thing that can happen? And I weighed those options. What's the worst thing that can happen? And if you weigh those options, then you can make a better decision in your life. And if something is telling you, that little thing in your mind or your brain, which I believe is God talking to you sometimes, and then there's the devil as well, saying to you, it's probably not a good idea. Then guess what? It's probably not a good idea. Or if you think you may get away with it, what is the consequences of your actions? It's all based on a decision that you make. Everything is based on a decision that you make. Listen, we do more decision making than we do anything. Think about it. You wake up in the morning, you can lie in bed to decide, well, am I going to go to work today? What am I going to do today? Am I going to take a shower or bath or change my clothes or eat breakfast, drink coffee? You're constantly making decisions, and it only takes one decision in your life to take all that away. One. That's all it takes. So I'm not saying I'm a professor. I just have lived, learned experiences. I'm not trying to be preachy or any of those things. But throughout life, I listen to older people. I listen to younger people. I listen to people my age. I listen to a lot of people. I value the conversations I have. And based off other people's life experiences, including my own, I base my decisions off of that. A lot of my decisions, I shouldn't say all, but a lot of my decisions are based off life experiences of myself and other people. So again, think about the three key values of life. And guess what? None of those three cost any money. None. It doesn't cost you to wake up in the morning and thank God for the life that He gave you. It doesn't cost you time. Well, it could. If you're doing something crazy, it could cost you in other ways, but it doesn't cost you physical money, is what I'm saying. It doesn't cost you monetary money or time. Your choices, it doesn't cost you that dollar. So value those things. I was supposed to have an interview today with someone that, I cared about. And I just started saying, God, to say, just speak to the people and talk. I've never, done something like this. I just want to say that I always say, God bless and one love. And the reason why I say God bless and one love, because if I speak and I say God first and I say bless, that means I want God to bless you. I want God to bless you. And God is love. He is the one love that never fails. So when I say God bless and one love, I'm saying God bless that person. And I'm reminded of the love that He has for each and one of us. More love than we have for ourselves. So that is the reason why I say, and I try to end every conversation, whether it's on social media, is, God bless and more love. Because the one thing we all need is that love. I know some people want to be hard and some people want to be, defiant and all those things to say, I don't need love. I'm good. I'm cool by myself, so forth and so on. Okay. You really don't believe that deep down inside. Everybody wants to be loved. Who doesn't love the care of a mother or a friend or someone saying, I love you, genuinely saying, I love you? Everybody wants that. I don't know anyone that doesn't want that. Even the worst person that you may think wants to be loved. Maybe that's why they're acting out, because they never felt that genuine, wholesome love. I know that I'm blessed, even in my worst days, even in my dark days, even in my days where I feel like, damn, another bad day. I can still say I'm here and I'm blessed. I'm forever grateful. And it's only because of the God's presence. It's only because of His Spirit. I recently went to a funeral and it changed my life. I sat and I stood, well, I should say I stood at the casket and I saw a body, a lifeless body, which was a shell of the person that I once knew. And the reason why it was a shell, because the spirit of that individual was gone. So that's why I say the outside, that's why racism and all the stuff that you see on the outside really doesn't matter, because that's just a shell of the individual that's on the inside, the spirit of the person on the inside. Because once that spirit leaves, that person is no longer in that shell that's protecting that spirit. That person's not the same. So when you go to a funeral and you see a lifeless body, yes, I can visualize and see that may be the same person or not, depending on how well the funeral director and them makes a person look. Because you can go to a funeral and you say, that person does not look the same. The reason why the person doesn't look the same, Even if they did their best makeup job, it's because the spirit of that person left. They're no longer there. That's just a shell that we're viewing. It's just a shell. Guess what? That shell, once it gets buried, it's going to disintegrate. And that's when you get a skeleton. That's when the skeleton come out, the skull, because the body has evaporated, right? And then it turns to dust. Then it's gone. So when someone says they took their last breath, the spirit has left their body. About that. So for us to judge people merely on their appearance, yes, we do. I've been a victim of that as well. We are attracted to what you see at times, right? But that beauty isn't on the outside, because once you spend time with an individual and you find that their soul and their spirit is ugly, they then become not attractive anymore. And you no longer see that beautiful person on the outside because their spirit is ugly. Again, it goes back to the inside of the individual. That superficial outside doesn't make a difference. I guess I've done with my rants or conversation to you. I want to say, if anything else, if you don't know me by now, that I love you, even if I don't know you, because we're all God's children. We call him the Father for a reason. So when I leave my icy gray with love and respect, because that's what I want. I want to love you. I want to respect you. Then I say unity. That means us coming together. Unity to inspire change. In order to make a change, we have to collectively come together to make a change for the better good of humanity, right? When I say in order to see gray, meaning that I see an individual, but I'm judging them based off their spirit and their soul. So don't say I don't see color, because you do. Don't say I don't see that individual, because you do. And it's wrong to say I don't see that, because you want to respect that individual that you see. The difference is I won't treat you differently because of what you look like. That's the difference. I won't change how I view you because of what you are, what ethnicity you are, what religion you are, and how you choose to marry whoever you want to marry. I judge you off you, the individual. So my last words is, you guys be safe. You guys cherish each other. In order to make this world a better place, we have to be the change that we want to see. We have to. In Jesus' name, I pray. And I love you. Amen. Peace. God bless.